And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We have a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. Now, if you want to watch, head over to twitch.tv/Takes by Fans if you want to watch live. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel. Just search Takes by Fans. We post all of our episodes and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And then we're also on podcasting apps as well if you just want to listen. So Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, those are the ones that we're on right now. Still working on getting into some of the other big podcast players out there, but we're close, folks. We're getting there. All right, today is Thursday, so now we can finally start looking into Week 15. We're 4 days out from Sunday of Week 15. We've got a game on tonight, absolutely fantastic. Chargers, Raiders should be a good one. So we'll have our moneymaker, we'll have our predictions. We got to talk through that game. So we guess and react to the official lines today on the show. We'll go through the matchup, just talk about it, guess what we think the line is going to be, and then once we go through predicting all the games, then we go to DraftKings and see what the actual line is. See, if we were right on par, is our thinking right on, Vegas's thinking, see where we were right, see where we were wrong, and we'll go from there. But before we get into any of that, we've got a couple of stories to talk about. A couple of them. We got a few here. Call it a few stories. All right, so the first one, Panthers activate wide receiver DJ Moore from the reserve COVID-19 list. This is going to be huge for the Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater, he can be fine without Christian McCaffrey, but once you start taking away, some of his wide receiver weapons, he's been struggling. He struggled last week, so this is going to be a huge uplift here for the Panthers offense. Depending on who they face this week, this could be great news for a Panthers win this week. I think they have the Packers this week, so not going to be good, but, he gets a weapon back. Alrighty, Ravens have placed Hollywood Brown, James Proche, and Miles Boykin on the reserve COVID-19 list, so that kind of little outbreak in Baltimore is not quite over yet, and now it's taking out the wide receivers, but really, they're not a passing team. I mean, yes, Hollywood Brown caught that touchdown against the Browns this week, I get it, but, the Ravens are a mostly running team anyway, so their main offense is still going to be in place, even without some of these receivers being out. But yeah, we'll see. If these are close contact risks or if they actually tested positive for COVID. So we'll have to keep an eye on these players. But it shouldn't really hurt the Ravens too much. They don't pass the ball down the field. Lamar Jackson consistently has 182 yards passing. I think they can find some other receivers to do some mediocre passes. Some intermediate passes. So it's not like this Ravens team has a bunch of deep threats that they go to on a consistent basis. And even if they did, these receivers are not it, I'll tell you that. Hollywood Brown, he's fast, but can he go and get a one-on-one ball? I don't think so. So I don't think this is going to hurt the Ravens too much, especially they had the Jaguars this week. Is that supposed to intimidate? I mean, you could have just Lamar Jackson playing against the Jaguars, and they would win the game by 20 points just like that. So don't think this is going to hurt the Ravens too much with all these wide receivers being on the COVID-19 list. All right, Patriots wide receiver Julian Edelman returns to practice. This was yesterday. He hasn't played since week 7, so this is going to be a huge weapon for Cam Newton in this Patriots offense. This Patriots offense is one of the worst offenses in the league. Maybe even the Jets offense may be better than this Patriots offense, honestly. Cam Newton, he can't throw the ball down the field. He's got 6 passing touchdowns this season. What is that? He's running touchdowns. He's still putting up points, but not as consistent and not looking anywhere near where what he was doing in Carolina. So Julian Edelman, he's been a Patriot forever. Great slot receiver. Good for Cam Newton. Good for this Patriots offense of everything, kind of within 10 yards. So this is going to be huge for the Patriots this week, folks. If he actually does play, we'll see. They've got the Dolphins this week, so hopefully he doesn't play this week. Maybe take an extra week to just heal up fully. Alrighty, as we said on the show yesterday, John Brown, he was activated from IR, but he's not playing this week. He practiced, but they're going to hold him off for maybe another week, maybe another 2 weeks. There is no real rush to bring this man back. I mean, the Bills, they're looking good. What are they, 10-3? Already kind of secured a playoff spot, very close to securing the division. So, let this man get comfortable, acclimated back into this offense. There's no real need to bring this man back in. Josh Allen is still flourishing without him. He's just kind of, a cherry on top at this point. The entire team is kind of the ice cream. You got Stephon Diggs as the whipped cream, and John Brown's just going to be the cherry from now on. And, I think he's going to be perfectly fine with that. I know Josh Allen's going to be perfectly fine with having a cherry with his Sunday now. So, John Brown not playing this week, but did practice. So good sign coming for next week. All right, let's keep moving on here. Pete Carroll says tight end Greg Olsen has, quote, made an extraordinary recovery from a foot injury and could return to action soon. So now this Seahawks offense could be getting better going into the playoffs. I mean, you give Russell Wilson a great tight end, a great catching tight end, and Greg Olsen, I mean, he's a Panthers legend, folks. So if they can get him back for the tight end spot, this Seattle team is going to be even more dangerous than what they've already been offensively. Could you imagine Greg Olsen and DK Metcalf both having great games, and then you add Tyler Lockett into the mix? I mean, that's going to be dangerous. So Russell Wilson could be getting a new toy back into the offense soon here with Greg Olsen coming back. All right, Big Ben Roethlisberger on the offensive struggles. Quote, I just want everyone to take a deep breath. We've got time, and I 100% agree with Big Ben here. I mean, folks, they just lost their first game 11 weeks into the season. Can we all just take a deep breath? The offense has been sputtering a little bit, but the defense has still been very, very solid. I mean, yeah, they just lost against the Bills, but they totally basically shut them out in the first half, and they gave up a couple scores in the second half. It's unfortunate, but this team is still good. They're dealing with multiple injuries later down in the season. They just need to kind of get everybody healthy and then kind of resume back, when the playoff begins. So we'll keep an eye on what the Steelers are doing. We're still buying into them. We still have them in the, one of the top 10 teams in the league. It's funny, how some teams get free passes in the media and how other teams don't get free passes. We've been giving free passes to Josh Allen for the last 2 years, but Big Ben has like one, mediocre season and everybody wants to jump ship on him this quickly. Let's all take a breath, folks. These are, this is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. They've got a Super Bowl winning head coach. They know how to overcome some of this adversity that they're facing right now. That's why they have won rings and have always been successful and have went, 10-0, 11-0 this season. So everybody take a deep breath. They were playing games back to back to back. Really, 3 games in 12 days. The COVID he had to face the Tennessee Titans, who had a COVID outbreak, and the Ravens, who had a COVID outbreak. They've just kind of gotten the short end of the stick on some of their scheduling and how, the season has really played out. So, yes, Big Ben, we are taking a deep breath for you. I can't wait to watch this team again. They're going to get it figured out, folks, and when they do, it's going to be real good. Remember what they did in the beginning of the season. Big Ben, yeah, he was dinking and dunking, but they were still putting up points and getting the ball to their wide receiver, so they're all going to be healthy in the next couple weeks. Everybody's already starting to get a little bit healthier. So, yeah, the Steelers team, folks, they're good. Let's all relax. Alrighty, here we go. Continuing on. I told you we had a couple of stories here today. Sean Payton said Drew Brees still has, quote, a ways to go in his recovery from 11 broken ribs and the punctured lung. Quote, he's someone we're not going to just hurry back and just put him in the game. Folks, that's what I've been saying this entire time. Taysom Hill's a very solid backup. He could be a starter in this league. Yes, he struggled on the road a couple of times so far. He was good at home for those 2 home games. And then he was looking a little iffy on the road during the 2 road games against the Broncos. They did put up 30 points, but that was with the Broncos having no quarterback. And then, against the Eagles last week, they lose the game. So, yes, he doesn't look good on the road. But, he was also facing good defenses. That Broncos defense at home is very good, and this Eagles defense is slept on, folks. I'm ready to start putting this Eagles defense really in the top 5 of best defenses so far this season. Steelers, Dolphins, Rams, Eagles, who would be the 5th, or the Eagles would be the 5th, who would be the 4th? I'm trying to think. It's not coming to me real quick. Dolphins, Steelers, Rams, Washington, and then the Eagles. I would put all those in the top 5 of defenses, folks. So, Taysom Hill, he struggled a little bit when defenses are good, but, they were still moving the ball relatively good last week against the Eagles. It was just the turnovers that crept in. So, we still like Not rushing Drew Brees back. We don't think that's a smart strategy at all. They've already lost that number 1 seed in the NFC. So, let's not rush this man back out now. Just live with Taysom Hill on the field. So not rushing Drew Brees back. I think it's a smart decision. Let this man rest up. This is the end of his career, folks. 1 or 2 more seasons, then he's done. Get this man fully healthy for one last final, fully healthy playoff run. I want to see Drew Brees. He's still got it. The arm's still good. The roster's there. The talent is there. The weapons are still there. Get this man 1,000% healthy. Let this man have one more run at the playoffs, folks. Let Taysom Hill finish out the regular season. Then, week 1 of the playoffs, start this man up. That's what I'm looking for. So Sean Payton knows this. Drew Brees is not. I would expect Drew Brees not to start for the rest of the regular season, folks. And that's what we've been saying. So I love it. Alrighty, 3 more to go, and this is just to kind of see how much passing has evolved in sure, kind of last maybe even 3 years, but look at this. Justin Herbert, rookie quarterback, folks. Look at his completion percentage, 66%. The completion percentage this season is totally out of whack, and I'll tell you right now, here's a perfect example. Justin Herbert, 66% completion percentage. It's fantastic. You know what I say about NFL. If you have 62 to 65, that's good. Anything over 65 is actually really great. So Justin Herbert, rookie year, is great. Is that crazy to say? Possibly. Let's compare it to Aaron Rodgers, who has historically one of the best completion percentages of any quarterback. So Justin Herbert, rookie year, 66%. Let's look at what Aaron Rodgers has done his career. How many times has Aaron Rodgers, potentially the GOAT, you can make the argument, thrown over 66% completion percentage? He had it once, that was 2020. Hang on. Here it is. He has it once in 2007, but he played 2 games, so we're not even counting that. He had 71%. 64, 65, 68. Here we go. So one time in 2011, he threw over 66%, 67% in 2012, 66% in 2013. So 3 straight seasons of back-to-back over 66%. Then he drops down to 65, then 60, then 65, then 64, then 62, then 62, then 60. 9. So 4 times in Aaron Rodgers' career, he threw over 66% completion percentage. And Justin Herbert has done it his rookie season. It's getting out of whack, folks. Passing, if you haven't noticed it already, passing is the new trend in the NFL, and quarterbacks are throwing like 65, 70% now. It's absolutely crazy. Passing's the future. Justin Herbert's good. It's just crazy now. We have to kind of refigure out our metric on what actually like good completion percentage is, what's great completion percentage, and what's kind of average and what's below average. We have to kind of refigure out this metric going into 2021 because we just saw Justin Herbert throw 66% with 3 games left. Absolutely crazy. Truly crazy. All right. 2 more left, and then we'll get into kind of our main show. Here we go. Steelers offensive coordinator Randy Fichtner. Quote, "I'm not afraid to throw it deep." All right, then do it. Please. We're waiting for it. You have the receivers. You have the quarterback. You turned Ben Roethlisberger into a dink and dunker. How do you do that? The man was an absolute gunslinger for, 16 years in the league. He won a ring. I think he won 2 rings because of that. So, yeah, you're not afraid to throw deep, but can we start getting there, please? With this quote and with the quote of Big Ben saying everybody needs to relax, let's start getting it into some motion here. All right. So, and then our last story. Here we go. Last story, and it's the worst story, the worst news you'll ever hear. Here it is. Giants announce offensive coordinator Jason Garrett has tested positive for COVID-19. No, the Giants offense is crumbling right before our eyes. They were the number 1, in my opinion, they were the best team in the NFC East like 2 weeks ago. And now these last 2 weeks, they are just sputtering. The offense isn't working. He's got COVID, so he's going to miss this week and probably next week and possibly, even the last week of the game, like depending on how this kind of schedule falls out and when he gets cleared to go back. So, when you have COVID, you really have to sit out for 14 days. So this is going to be this week and next week. Hopefully this man gets healthy. Hopefully he's basically asymptomatic and, is healthy and he clears it. I love what this man's doing for the Giants. I really thought he was making Daniel Jones even a better quarterback than I already think he is. and this is going to be huge. So now you're probably thinking, who's going to call the plays for the Giants this week? Well, now it gets even worse. Former Browns head coach. That's never good. You never want to hear those words. Former Browns head coach, because you already know it's going to be bad. So former Browns head coach Freddie Kitchens, he will take over play calling Sunday night against Cleveland. Oh, goodness. Everything is just shaping up to be wild in this story. Freddie Kitchens, remember him, the 1-year head coach for the Cleveland Browns? Remember what he did, 6-10? And I don't want to hear, oh, they just got all their weapons in 2020. No. Look at their offense in 2019 with Freddie Kitchens. Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Kareem Hunt. They had the weapons, and they went 6-10. You bring in Kevin Stefanski, and they're already 9-4 with 3 games left to go this season. So, folks, Freddie Kitchens, stay away from the Giants this week, folks. You got Freddie Kitchens calling the plays. What is he going to do? I mean, this Giants team offensively has no real stars, and you had Baker Mayfield, OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. That's 5 big pieces right there offensively, and you won 6 games? I'm not buying it. And plus, he's going against the Cleveland Browns. Talk about that. I mean, yes, he's going to be out for revenge, but he can't call plays, so what is he going to be doing out there? Stay away heavy from the Giants this week, folks. They're not going to get it done with Freddie Kitchens calling plays. I can guarantee that. Daniel Jones struggled last week, his first game back. We don't even know if he's playing. Colt McCoy could be playing this week. We're not 100% sure yet, so I would absolutely stay away from the Giants this week. It's a lot of nonsense going on over there. They got Freddie Kitchens calling plays. I don't even know why that man was even hired after what he just did in Cleveland last year. I don't know. All right, that's all the stories that we needed to get out of the way. Some good ones there. All right, our main topic today, Thursday. Guess and react to the lines of Week 15. So we've got our Thursday night game. We've got hang on, whoa. We've got 2 Saturday games this week. I totally forgot. Holy cow, Saturday, Bills, Broncos, and Panthers, Packers. 2 Saturday games. So we're going to go through all these games, talk about them. Give what we think the line's going to be, and then we go and see what the actual line is after we've guessed the lines of every single game here. So without further ado, let's get into it. We'll do our moneymaker for Thursday tonight's game, when we get to reacting to the line. So here we go. Chargers, Raiders. This is your Thursday night matchup here. So Raiders are at home. That's a good sign. I've been kind of falling off the Raiders lately, but they're going against the Chargers this week, folks. This Chargers team is so trash. Like, I know they have Justin Herbert, and that's really all they have. Their coaches, I don't know what they're doing over there. They almost blew it against Atlanta last week. Oh my goodness, we talked about that yesterday. The interception, 3 straight interceptions, basically playing hot potato and who wins the game. And luckily, the Chargers didn't make a second mistake in the fourth quarter. So they end up winning by 3 against the Falcons. The Raiders, they got kind of blown out. Now, they're moving the ball down the field decently, but it's these turnovers that these Raiders are having. They had 3 last week against the Colts. That's unacceptable. I think they had more, a couple... like 2 weeks ago, I think they had like the 3 turnovers as well. When they faced the Jets, they had a couple of turnovers. So this team needs to take care of the football. They've got some good pieces. Henry Ruggs, I think, is going to be out this week. That's going to be huge. I don't know how to call this game. I highly advise, even before looking at the line, I stay away from this game. We can't trust this Chargers team. They blow the games, and they're not at home. So I give them no shot of winning. But this Raiders team, they're turning the ball over way too much. This Chargers defense is okay. They're just an okay team. This Raiders team shows some glimpses of greatness, but then every time they do that, they go and flounder and clam right back up and then lose. They're 7-6. They've lost their last 3 out of their 4 games, and that's what they did last season. So, I mean, that's what the trend is continuing this season. We can't buy this Raiders team. We're going to call this one... Raiders -4. I mean, and at that point, I think I take the Chargers plus the points, but we'll talk about it when we see the official line. We can't trust Chargers. We can never trust them. And what we've seen lately from this Raiders team, it's not good. It's really not good. Derek Carr is playing okay, but he's throwing interceptions. That cannot happen. Now, they may go run heavy here because Josh Jacobs, his second game back, he just kind of got a full rhythm, full cardio of NFL action in. Expect him to be kind of maybe a bigger piece here this week. But yeah, I mean, we cannot trust this Chargers team offensively. I don't like what they call play calling wise. They clam up offensively. Justin Herbert, he's got an arm. Trust it. Throw deep. Let this man go deep like consistently throughout the game. They do it like here, like one time, maybe one or two times in the game, but do it a little bit more consistently because he's got the arm, and you've got, you know, decent wide receivers who can go and make those catches. So we don't think we're going to get any good value here. We'll call this one Raiders -4, and I really don't even like that because I don't think the Raiders are that good, but that's what I'm going to say that Vegas is going to call it at. We'll go Raiders -4. Okay, then here we go. The Saturday games. Let's get these out of the way. Bills-Broncos. Bills should have no problem here, but the Broncos are pretty good at home, so their offense could maybe keep up a little bit because Drew Lock just threw 4 touchdowns and no picks last week. That was pretty impressive. I mean, this man can play. He just kind of got injured early in the season. He wasn't, you know, he was kind of in and out, in and out, in and out. So, you know, now that he's got a couple of, you know, consistent games strung together, Drew Lock is playing pretty good, and he's got the arm to back it up. Now, the Bills, where we've always been waiting for them to take the step back. We don't think it's going to happen here. The Bills, Saturday night game, another kind of big primetime game for them, and I expect them to come out firing. We saw what Josh Allen did last week. It was no nonsense. You know, he kind of struggled in the first half. We do have to say that, but this Broncos defense isn't as good as the Steelers' defense is, and this Bills team, when they're facing, you know, mediocre defenses, they have Stephon Diggs absolutely destroy them. So look for another big game here. This could be a shootout, honestly. Saturday night game, kind of 4:30, a little wonky kind of time here. The Broncos are trending up. The Bills have just always been trending up this entire season. So we're going to call this one Bills -3 just because they're on the road here. We may like Broncos +3. If they're getting any more than +3, I may like them. I think the Bills win it, but I think Drew Lock, he can't keep the game close. This Bills defense, though, against Drew Lock, you know, he usually does turn the ball over. Last week he didn't, but can he get back to that? Most likely this Bills defense is pretty good. So we'll call this one Bills -3. And then the last Saturday game, the night game, Panthers-Packers. Is that going to be a good one? Is this going to be a good one? The Panthers are pretty good. I'm kind of excited they're finally getting a primetime spot because nobody's been talking about the Panthers this season. And that's, I mean, it's well-deserved. They have 4 wins. Why are we talking about a 4-9 team whose running back, whose star player has been injured this entire season? I totally get it. But with Matt Rule, I mean, this is going to be a huge game for him, nationally televised, primetime game, huge game. I mean, they're not playing for anything, so you have to just kind of get everybody to buy into this game knowing that there's nothing after 3 weeks. There's just nothing. They go on vacation in 3 weeks. So Matt Rule, he's kind of has a tough job here to get the Panthers players ready to go this week. The Packers, they're trending up. Aaron Rodgers isn't turning the ball over. He's looking good. Now, the games are being a little bit more competitive, but the Packers are still winning, and they're still winning by a touchdown, so that's still good wins there by the Packers. Their defense has always been good. Their offense, as I said, they don't turn the ball over. And what we just saw against the Lions last week, we saw that kind of one big hit, 3 plays, 1 minute drive for 75 yards and a touchdown. But then all the other drives for touchdowns were like 7, 8, 9 minutes. So the Packers can do it either way. This Panthers team, they go on long drives too, so probably expect maybe a lower scoring games, not a lot of drives, just kind of solid drives here. Panthers go on a 6-minute touchdown drive. Packers go on a 7-minute touchdown drive. Panthers go on like a 5-minute field goal drive. Packers go on another 6-minute touchdown drive, and then, you know, at that point, we're like 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter, and the score is 14-10. So that's kind of how I see this kind of game trending. The Panthers are very good when both their receivers are healthy. DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel. He may be the third. No, Robbie Anderson. When DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson are both healthy, the Panthers, they move the ball. Teddy Bridgewater is good. He really doesn't turn the ball over. So I think this game is going to be sneaky competitive because people don't watch the Panthers. I think the Packers win. I think this game's going to kind of trend exactly how the Lions went last week. Packers were like -8.5. They win by 7. I think that's kind of what we're going to get here. So we're going to call this one Packers -8.5, kind of trending like what happened last week against the Lions. This this Panthers offense can move the ball like the Lions do, folks. They've got kind of a similar kind of style offense. What they do offensively with their points and how many points they put up, they kind of do mirror what the Lions do. So I'm going to call this one a little bit close here. We're going to call this one Packers minus 8.5, and I think we'll take the Panthers plus 8.5 if that's the case. Alrighty, so those are the Thursday and Saturday games. Now let's get to the Sunday slate, and we start here with Texans and Colts. And oh boy, I love the Colts here. It's already looking like the Texans have given up. We saw them last week. They did not look good. They're really losing these receivers. Their backup receivers aren't playing consistently at a high level. We saw Kiki Cutie last week. What did he do? Like 18 yards on 1 or 2 catches. Not that impressive when he just had over 100 yards his first game. So, he's getting maybe a little exposed. There's tape on him. He's not as good as maybe we thought in game number 1. So I think this Texans team is kind of moving on. They don't have their head coach, Romeo Crennel, maybe losing the locker room a little bit. The Texans defense is just truly not even good. Their 2 best players are Deshaun Watson and JJ Watt. That's it. That's all they've got. Their receivers are constantly hurt or getting suspended or just not on the team anymore. They cannot run the ball, which I really don't understand. They got David Johnson and Duke Johnson. Those are decent backs, and they're not making it work. So we are 1,000% off the Texans, and we are now 1,000% on the Colts now. This is going to be a blowout, folks. This is going to be an old-fashioned blowout. It's a 1 o'clock kind of kickoff. Not a good game here. We can't trust the Texans here, folks. We just can't trust them anymore. Their offense, that was kind of their one kind of saving grace for us, and now recently it's been sputtering. So we love the Colts here. Their offense is very good. They've got a good run and pass attack. The Texans just let the Bears and Mitch Trubisky put up 36 points. What more do I need to say? They've given up. This Colts team is still fighting for, positioning in the playoffs. I think this is one's going to be big. We'll call this one Colts minus 7.5, and I still think I like it. I still think we saw the points. I think the Colts win big, folks. I'm talking 17 plus points they win by. The Texans have quit. Their offense can't score. Their defense is trash. That's their defense is so trash. It's just trash. That's all there is to it. Alrighty, Jams and Rets. Jets and Rams here. Rams will score 24 points. The spread should be probably minus 23.5. You're basically just kind of seeing if the Jets put up any points at all. They always kind of score on their first drive, and then they've got nothing to do. This Rams defense, they're not going to let the Jets score outside of their first kind of drive. Maybe they give up a field goal on that first drive that the Jets have, but everything else, this Rams defense is good, folks. That's right. Adam Gase is going to be in for a rude awakening here when he has to go all the way to LA. So not only do we have East Coast going to West Coast, we have an Adam Gase coach East Coast team going to a West Coast team. Off our head coach by one of the smartest offensive minds there is in football, Sean McVay. And then we've got one of the better defenses, top 5 defenses in the Rams defense. So do I think Adam Gase is going to have any success here? Absolutely not. We're going to call this one, folks, this Jets team, they cannot score. Their offense is so bad. Adam Gase is, y'all know how I feel about that, man. Absolutely garbage. So, it was Jets minus 16.5 last week. 16. I think it was 16. Jets minus 16.5, or Jets plus 16.5 last week. It's probably going to be the same here. Rams offense, Seattle's offense. Seattle's offense puts up a lot more points, but the Rams consistently score 24. So, we'll take the minus 16. We'll call this one Rams minus 15. Their defense, do you think the Jets are going to do anything against Jalen Ramsey or Aaron Donald up front? Come on. Oh, my God. Yeah, the Rams, they usually put up 24 points, but they'll probably put up like 50 here now. They wouldn't put it past me. So Rams minus 15, we may swallow those points. Alrighty, next game up, Lions and Titans. And Titans, oh my God, they looked real good last week. Derrick Henry back to his 200 yards rushing. This Lions team, they've still got Matt Stafford, so they're always going to be competitive. Their interim head coach is doing a fantastic job. Everybody's buying into him and at Matt Patricia. That doesn't surprise anybody, I don't think. So I do like the Lions. But this is the Titans we're talking about. Lions, they have nothing to play for, but it's Matt Stafford. He may keep the game close like he did last week against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. I mean, they did it. They kept pace. They lost by 7. That's not a blowout. That's just an average loss. So, I mean, they do keep pace a little bit. They do score very good in the first halves, in the first quarters. Their scripted plays are usually pretty good. So, the Lions here may be able to keep it close. If the spread is big, like 7.5, maybe stay away from it. We know this Titans team, they're good. They do kind of struggle in the first half sometimes, so that's something you have to keep in mind. But last week, they did absolutely fantastic. What was it, 17 points in the first half, 14 points in the second half, so kind of even scoring throughout that entire game by the Titans. Good, solid win. The defense stepped up. They didn't give up a lot of points, and Derrick Henry was running absolutely wild all over them. So we call this one probably Titans -5. Titans -5. I mean, this Lions team, they keep the games close. I mean, if they were just -7 last week against the Packers, I don't see them being, minus that much here. The Titans being minus that much here against the Lions. So we'll call this one Titans minus. Let's bump this up to 6.5. Titans -6.5. Let's bump it up to that. I mean, when this Titans team when everything goes right, you can't stop this Titans team. When everything goes right, you cannot stop the Titans offense, you can't stop the Chiefs offense, and you barely can stop the Ravens offense. So, I mean, these are one of the top 3 offenses in the league when everything's going right. We got a nice little stat here. The Titans are 35 points per game since week 11. That's real good, folks. 35 points plus. I mean, what is that, 5 weeks straight? What are we in, week 14, so 4 weeks straight of just 35 or more points. It's absolutely fantastic what this Titans team can do. Derrick Henry, man, he may run all over the Lions here. All right, so we call that one Titans -6.5. All right, now we get Bucks and Falcons. How do we call this game? The Falcons are just absolutely trash. You cannot trust them. Matt Ryan, he's not getting better, folks, and it is kind of unfortunate to see. I want to see this man have success. He got to the Super Bowl. I want him to see him get back there and try it again. But the way he plays, he can't do that. The man is not good in the red zone. He has a ton of turnovers. He's literally good from throwing from their own 30 to the opponent's 45. And that's the only time he's good throwing the ball in that kind of short range of fields. Once he starts getting into enemy territory, he cannot make any passes, can't make any tight throws, rarely converts any third downs there. That's why Younghoe Koo has 10, 50 plus yard field goals, because Matt Ryan cannot drive in the red zone or in opponent's territory. So we can't trust this Falcons offense, and I don't want to hear, Julio Jones doesn't play sometimes. It doesn't matter. They play better without Julio Jones. So I don't want to hear that excuse. And I don't want to hear an excuse for the Bucs either. They put up 26 points last week. Is that a lot? Tom Brady, did he look good? He looked meh. He missed a couple of throws. Yes, he made a couple of throws, but he also missed a couple of throws. So I guess we call this one Bucks. What were they last week? -6.5 at home against the Vikings. I think we have them Bucks -6 here, but I still don't know if we can trust it. I cannot trust Tom Brady. Now, this Bucks defense, what are they good at? They're good at stopping the run. The Falcons, they run the ball mediocrely, so Todd Gurley's probably not going to get anything. But this Bucks pass offense may be able to help Matt Ryan out, but I still think Matt Ryan is going to make key mistakes here. Bucks are still kind of vying to still be a good team in this league. I mean, they're not in my top 10 power rankings. We cannot trust Tom Brady, even with all those weapons. How crazy is that? So, still not sure even on Bruce Arians and Tom Brady's relationship. I think they both don't like each other. That's just me. I mean, if they're talking publicly, outing each other in the media, do you do that to your best friend? Do you go to, your local news and tell on your best friend when he's not doing good? I don't know. Do y'all do that? I don't do that. So I don't think the Bucks have a good relationship between their head coach and quarterback. So we call it Bucks -6. They're clearly on paper the better team. They are the better team when I watch them as well, because I don't trust Tom Brady that much, but I trust Matt Ryan less than I trust Tom Brady. So we'll call this one Bucks -6. This Falcons team, I don't know. I was big on them in the beginning of the season, but they've really fallen off. And Matt Ryan has not impressed me or has gotten better throughout the season. He's truly kind of gotten worse throughout the season. How crazy is that? So we'll call this one Bucks -6, and we may still swallow the points. We can't trust the Falcons at all. I can trust maybe Tom Brady a little bit. He still kind of gets it done sometimes. I mean, with all those weapons, you're gonna get it sometime, right? So yeah, Bucks -6. That's what we'll call it. All right, here we go. Jags Ravens, and as we said at the top of the show, Ravens are going to be missing a couple of wide receivers potentially for this game. We don't know if they have COVID or just close contact. So, I mean, we were talking about maybe 14 days or like 3 days that they can be out. We don't know yet. So, not sure. I would expect them to probably, most of them to be out. Maybe one can make it. Maybe, but expect at least 2 to not be in for the Ravens this week. Does it matter? Maybe, because Gardner Minshew's playing, and he's the best quarterback that the Jaguars have. Mike Glennon, yes, they were slinging the ball with him, which, was our green flag about Mike Glennon, but he wasn't converting or winning games or being clutch, so the switch back to Gardner Minshew is the correct decision. He can put up the points. It's kind of like what this Jags team is exactly kind of like the Bears offensively. When they were trying to move to a different quarterback, they weren't putting up the points and were still losing. And then when they switch back to their original quarterback, Bears with Mitch Trubisky and Jaguars with Gardner Minshew, then the points start to elevate a little bit more, and now you're starting to compete in games a little bit better. So I like that the Jags are going back with Gardner Minshew. I like that the Bears are going back and sticking with Mitch Trubisky. They put up the points, and that's what you need. If you're not putting up points, you're not winning games, as we just saw with Nick Foles. He had, 7 weeks, and I think he won maybe 2 games. 2 games, I think. So Jaguars are back with Gardner Minshew. Is it going to make a difference? Probably not. This Ravens defense is good. Gardner Minshew, I don't think he's that good that can beat this Ravens defense. And even if he is putting up points, we just saw Ravens versus the Browns. That's all you need to see. The Browns were keeping up pace. They put up 42 points, and at the end of the day, it's not enough. So I don't think this Jags team can put up 42 points. I don't think Gardner Minshew can put up 42 points. The Ravens, though, they can put up 50 if they want. So we're going to call this one Ravens -10. I mean, folks, this is Lamar Jackson in this offense. Come on. You think anybody on this Jags defense is going to be able to do anything? Come on. They've been trading all their good defensive pieces out this entire season. That's why they're 1-12, folks. So Gardner Minshew, he's just not going to be able to stop or kind of use the Jags. And Gardner Minshew, their scoring output is not going to come even near what the Ravens are going to do. We'll call it Ravens -10. Alrighty, Patriots and Dolphins. Interesting here. This Patriots offense is not good. Both these teams have very good defenses. Bill Belichick versus a rookie quarterback. He does not let you do that. We saw that with Justin Herbert, who is making, I don't know, he's looking like a freaking 10-year veteran in this league with 66% completion percentage his rookie year. Come on. So, I mean, oh yeah, that was the point. This Patriots defense against rookie quarterbacks, Bill Belichick against rookie quarterbacks. What happened against the Chargers with Justin Herbert? 45-0. 45-0. Now, I think this Dolphins offense is better. We all know, Anthony Lynn is not a good head coach for the Chargers team. They blow all the leads, and they get blown out 45-0. So, this Dolphins defense is going to be able to keep pace with the Patriots defense. Cam Newton, he's not going to do anything, folks. I'm sorry. He's not putting up more than 10 points on this Dolphins defense. I don't care if they get Julian Edelman back. If he does end up playing this week, it's not going to matter still. This Patriots offense is so not good, folks. It's so trash. They're basically hanging on by a thread. That's their defense. The one thread that's still left for this Patriots is the defense, and it's Bill Belichick. Everything else is it's falling. So, Tua, I mean, that was a good game against the Chiefs last week, still battling, got down big, 20-point deficit, still, in it, coming back a little bit, so that's huge for them. Look for this offense maybe to get a little bit better. We do have a lot of injuries still for the Dolphins, so, but we'll call this one Dolphins -3. That's what we're going to call it, just because they're at home. I think they have the better defense than the Patriots. I think they have the better offense. the Patriots have the better coach. This is, Brian Flores. He was coaching under Bill Belichick for a couple of seasons. I believe he was the defensive coordinator for a couple of seasons. So you've got that rivalry. You've got, both these coaches wanting to call better defensive plays to beat the other head coach. So it's gonna be a tight game. Division game. Those are always close. Bill Belichick knows this Dolphins team, folks. So, we're gonna call this one Dolphins -3. That's what we're going to call this one. Okay, let's keep on going here. Bears, Vikings, and oh boy, what do we call this one? Two interesting teams here. Vikings, last week, they put up the stats offensively, but sometimes their offense, it really sputters. They fumble all the time. Kirk Cousins took so many sacks in that second half against the Bucs last week. It really knocked him out of field goal position every time they crossed midfield. He would just take unnecessary sacks. It would go from like 1st and 10 to like 2nd and 13 to like 3rd and 23. It would just be like that, and they couldn't score any points in the second half. So we do like this Vikings offense. We like what Delvin Cook is doing and Kirk Cousins having good success when the run game is doing its part. But this offense, it sputters in the second half, and we can't trust it. Now, can we trust Mitch Trubisky in this Bears team? Last week, he looked good. He looked all right. The Texans, they didn't do anything to stop him. We kind of watched Mitch Trubisky yesterday in our film study, and he still wasn't looking good. They were just making completions, and Allen Robinson was being really good. Now, this Vikings defense, they're not that good. I don't think they can stop the Bears, and the Bears defense just held the Texans to 7 points. So it's real crazy here. Two interesting teams here. I'd probably stay away from it unless we get some good value here. Like if we get Bears +7, I may take it. But that has bit me in the butt. We've taken Bears +9.5 before, and we lost. So don't know if we can still trust them. This is interesting. This is an interesting game here. This is going to be fun to watch and talk about come Monday after the game. But we'll call this one Vikings -3. I think these teams are very similar. Who's got the better offense? Vikings? Yes. Kirk Cousins is better than Mitch Trubisky, and they've got a good running attack there in Minnesota. The Bears, their defense, though, I was kind of impressed what they did last week. I thought they would kind of quit on the team. They didn't. So it's going to be tough. This Vikings team, you cannot trust them in the second half. Cannot trust them in the second half. They turned the ball over. They did it. They gave up 14 points in the second half just by fumble sixes 2 weeks ago. Last week, they took sacks, knocked them out of field goal range. Oh, man, this Vikings team, they fumble on the 1 yard line. They fumble in red zone territories as well. So, we can't trust Mitch Trubisky, but we still can't trust this Vikings offense either. So, don't really know how to call it. I stay away from it. We'll call it Vikings -3. All right, then we get Browns and Giants, and I already told y'all Freddie Kitchens is calling plays for the Giants, so heavily avoid the Giants here. The Browns, Baker Mayfield versus Freddie Kitchens, that's going to be a storyline you're going to be hearing all week. Daniel Jones, he may not be playing, and if he is, he's not going to be 100% healthy, and we saw what a non-100% healthy Daniel Jones looks like. And it doesn't look good. It's 7 points and not competitive. So we like the Browns here all day. Huge loss that they're just coming off of, but they still put up the points. That's what they do. This team can score. Kevin Stefanski is a genius calling play, or being the head coach, calling plays for the Browns, calling great game plans, not letting Baker Mayfield do too much. Great run pass, combination there. So I don't like the Giants here. Their play calling is not going to be good. It's Freddie Kitchens. That's all you need to know. Banged up Daniel Jones. So we're going to call this one kind of big. Browns -10. Browns -10. This Giants defense, is it good? It's okay. It's decent. We saw what they did against Seattle. Kyler Murray didn't run wild over them, but they still were able to put up, 27 points? And I think DeAndre Hopkins was back to their leading receiver. So it's not that good. So, and especially it's not good when they're not putting up points offensively. The defense is going to start getting sick and tired of them not putting up points, stopping, Baker Mayfield and the Browns time and time again. But we'd still like the Browns. We'll take them -10. That's what our prediction is, and we still may swallow the points, honestly. Okay, here we go. Seahawks in Washington, and oh boy, how is Russell Wilson going to fare against this very good Washington defense on the road? I don't like this Washington offense. I'll tell you right now, we're still kind of questionable with Alex Smith. You know, it was kind of said early in the week that he was going to play despite him not practicing all week. That's kind of weird to say. So Dwayne Haskins could play, and is that going to boost my confidence on Washington a little bit? I think so. I think I like Dwayne Haskins right now better than Alex Smith. This Washington defense is absolutely fantastic. We just put them on the cash list. I'm officially recognizing this Washington defense as one of the top 5 defenses in the league. Chase Young is an absolute monster. And we know that Russell Wilson this season has a history of throwing interceptions against kind of better defensive teams. They're on the road. So we're going to call this one Seahawks -4. Seahawks -4, and that may be enough. That may be enough for us to take the points with Washington because we like their defense, and Seattle's offense is good. Their defense is okay. Well, I don't expect Washington to put up that many points, but I also think Russell Wilson, he's shown that he can turn the ball over multiple times, and when he does that, they always lose those games. If he's throwing 1, they have about a 60% chance of losing the game. If he throws 2, I think it goes all the way up to like 95% that they're going to lose the game. So Washington, their defense, folks, that's all we're talking about. Ron Rivera, also kind of only thing we're talking about here. When we talk about Washington, we don't talk about their offense because it's really not that good. We're talking defense and coaching, and that's maybe enough that you need. I mean, the Jets went to 3 straight AFC Championship games on good defense and coaching. They had Mark Sanchez as their quarterback. Absolutely trash. The butt fumble guy. Yes, that man. So if you're wondering what he's doing now, he's not even associated with the NFL anymore. He's on College Game Day on like ESPN 3 or something. So no, that was a little disrespectful. It's like ESPN or ESPN 2 that he does. That he does, but he's a college college game day kind of talk show host because he's not that good in the NFL. So you can get by with good coaching and defense until the Super Bowl, and then you lose that. You need some offense in the Super Bowl, or in the AFC Championship game, I should say. So I think we may like Washington here. Give me the 4. This defense, Chase Young. Give me even more. Oh, if we're talking Washington +7, forget about it. I'll take that all day. We'll see what we get there. Couple more games to go through. Let's kind of go through these quickly to get to the actual line. So here we go. Eagles, Cardinals. I think we could get some absolutely great value here with the Eagles. Now, we may not love their offense. Jalen Hurts, he was looking okay, but a little dink and dunk, and his legs really helped him out last week, 100 yards rushing. They probably don't win the game if he doesn't do that. This Eagles defense, folks, it's good. Are we putting them in the top 5? I keep forgetting who the top 5 is. Steelers, Dolphins, Rams, Washington, and are we putting the Eagles defense in there now? Steelers, Dolphins, Rams, Washington, maybe the Eagles. They could be number 5 in the top 5 defenses in the league right now, folks. Love this Eagles defense. Love the Eagles running game. Miles Sanders, he rips off 70-yarders like nobody's business. He's maybe the second best running back in the league. Derrick Henry's obviously number 1. You can maybe make the argument Delvin Cook at number 2, but I think Miles Sanders is that Miles Sanders. Yes, Miles Sanders for the Eagles. He's a great running back, folks. He really helps out Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. He's the spark of the offense. He can break off a 70-yarder. This Eagles offensive line is good. Their run game is good, and their defense is good. Jalen Hurts, he just needs to be the game manager, and I think we could get some good value here. Eagles being on the road, Cardinals being at home, Cardinals kind of being the favorite team to the public. The public's like, oh, the Eagles have a rookie quarterback. We're going to be off of them. So we could get some sneaky good value here. We're going to call this one Cardinals -4.5. I would put this, yes, I think this line really should be Cardinals minus 4.5, but I think Vegas could go all the way up to like Cardinals minus 6.5 or Cardinals minus 7, and at that point we switch over to Eagles plus 6.5 or 7. That's going to be some great value. This Cardinals team is good, but what do they do offensively time and time and time again? They go to DeAndre Hopkins as their only main weapon to score points. They cannot score any points if they're not going to DeAndre Hopkins, and that's why they're 7-6, folks, because defenses can figure that out, and if you can stop DeAndre Hopkins defensively, you're pretty much going to win the game. In this Eagles team, they can stop wide receivers. I mean, they held Taysom Hill in that Saints offense of how explosive that offense is. With Taysom Hill, throwing to his actual wide receivers, they have to stop Alvin Kamara. They also have to stop, Taysom Hill from running. So the Eagles defense, they covered the wide receivers of the Saints, they covered the running back of the Saints, and they covered the quarterback of the Saints, and they had no problem, won the game. The Cardinals, they're not as good as the Saints are, folks. Kyler Murray, is he better than Taysom Hill? He's faster than Taysom Hill. Does he have a better arm? I don't know if I'm so sure, if I'm so sold on that. So we have very even quarterbacks between Taysom Hill and Kyler Murray. Weapons, wide receiver weapons, Saints have the advantage all day. Running back weapons, Saints have the advantage all day with Alvin Kamara. So I think I like the Eagles here. And if we're getting more than like 6 points, I'll take that. We'll call this one Cardinals minus 4.5. We'll see what we get. All right, Chiefs Saints, this is going to be a great game. Saints are probably still going to be rocking with Taysom Hill, and that's still fine. That's no reason to bail on the Saints, folks. Saints are at home. Huge advantage for them. Chiefs coming off of wow, what a performance by them. I mean, offensively good and offensively bad. 4 turnovers, but you overcome all those turnovers and still win the game on the road. I mean, that's fantastic. The Saints defense, I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with the Chiefs defensively. There's going to be a lot of penalties on the Saints defense this game, folks. We see it time and time again with the Saints team. They commit a lot of penalties. Like, they'll have a lot of pass interference, defensive holding. They kind of shoot themselves in the foot defensively. Now, can Taysom Hill keep up scoring with the Chiefs? That's going to be tough. He can only probably do that at home, but he definitely has the talent to be able to keep up offensively with the Chiefs. This is going to be a close game. We're going to call this one Chiefs minus 3. Patrick Mahomes, folks, you can't go against them, man. They've got 1 loss this season. I do want to root for the Saints team. I do like Taysom Hill, and I do want him to have success, and I don't want him to kind of, lose his last 2 games. They bring in Drew Brees a little bit sooner than they wanted to because Taysom Hill's losing games. I don't want that. I want Taysom Hill to be a starter in the league when Drew Brees retires. Honestly, he's looking good. He's real good. If the Dolphins didn't have Tua, I would say go get Taysom Hill, but we got Tua, so we can't do that right now. But this is going to be a great game. We'll call it Chiefs minus 3. Do we take Saints plus 3 if that's the case? I don't know. It would be tough. This is a real tough one to take. I like the Saints defense, but I know they commit so many penalties, and I'm just looking. Travis Kelce, the speed of Tyreek Hill, they're going to be grabbing all day these Chiefs receivers. So I think we like the Chiefs here. All right, 2 more games. What's the late Sunday night game? Is there no late Sunday night? Oh, it's Browns Giants. It's weird. It's all the way up here. It's usually, the later game, they go kind of in order, the 1s, the 4s, the 8s. This one was all over the place. That's why I was a little confused talking through this Chiefs Saints game, because I looked at the time. I thought this was going to be the late game, but it's the 4:25 game. So the late game is Giants Browns. Okay. All right. Daniel Jones on prime time without Jason Garrett. That's not going to be good. Damn, that's not going to be good to watch. That's not a good game to put the Giants on prime time. All right, 2 more games to talk about. Here we go. 49ers and Cowboys. Ooh, what do we choose here? I don't like this. I don't even want to call this game. This is going to be trash. Cowboys at home. I don't care. It's Mike McCarthy. He's not going to have them ready to go. 49ers, who wins the coaching battle? 49ers all day. Who wins the quarterback battle? Nick Mullins? Yeah, Andy Dalton has not been looking good, folks. His stats, he's probably been the one that I'm most disappointed in. I thought he could really kind of revitalize his career and kind of be like, you know what, that whole situation with me and the Bengals, it was really Marvin Jones? Who was that? Whatever, the head coach for the Bengals while Andy Dalton was there. I want to say Marvin Jones. I don't know if that's right. But Yeah, so, I mean, Andy Dalton, he's not doing anything this season. I thought he would rejuvenate his career, be like, you know what, that time in Cincinnati, that was all on the head coach. I was still doing fine. Me and A.J. Green were doing fine. 8-8, first-round exits if we made it that far. But, I'm still a solid quarterback, but he's going here in Dallas. He's got the weapons. He's got the weapons, folks, and he's just not competing very well. This 49ers defense, they're not that good either. I'm not impressed with them, so I stay away from this game. I don't trust this 49ers team. Their defense is absolutely atrocious. And this Cowboys coaching staff is kind of atrocious as well. They've got the talent. Zeke's not doing anything. We looked at the offense last week, folks. It was all their defense, all mistakes by the Bengals. That's why the Cowboys put up 30 points. That's a fake 30 points that the Cowboys put up last week, folks. Do not buy into their hype that they have a good offense, even at home. It doesn't matter. We'll call this one like Cowboys -3, but that's just because they're at home. The 49ers are not good. The Cowboys aren't good. Shoot. Stay away from this game, folks. We'll call it Cowboys at -3 because they're at home. And then we'll quickly talk about this Monday game. We'll talk about this game a little bit more in depth on Monday when we could, talk about it a little bit more in depth on game day. So Steelers-Bengals early predictions here. We'll call this one. This is the time for the Steelers to get back on track, folks. The Bengals have put up 7 points the last 2 weeks. The Steelers defense, they're going to say 0 points. The Bengals are going to put up 0 points this week. The Steelers, they put up 10, they put up 14, they put up 21. It doesn't matter. They'll cover the spread because defensively, they're not going to let the Bengals score anything. The Bengals cannot score anyway at home on the road. It doesn't matter. They put up 7, and now you go against the Steelers defense. They're not getting anything. So we'll call this one like Steelers -13.5. They just have to get their offense on track. That's it. They'll be good. If they win this game 45-0, can we all put the Steelers back at like top 5 teams in the league, folks, please? So we'll call this one Steelers -13.5. Alrighty, now that we just predicted all those lines of all the games, now let's see what the actual lines are. How close are we with Vegas? Are we off? Are we wrong? Are we right? Last week we did really good guessing. I think maybe we were wrong on like 1 or 2, but it was like not even like more than like 2 points. So we were very, very on par with Vegas last week, and we're ready to do it again this week. So here we go. The Thursday night game will give you our moneymaker. We predicted the game, Chargers-Raiders at... I just put -4. I think I just put -4. I forgot. I think it's Raiders -4. That makes sense. So we say Raiders -4, and it's Raiders -3. So okay, that's fine. Right on the mark here. Vegas is saying that both these teams are very equal. That's why you get the home team -3, because that's given. And then, if you think a team's better, you start lowering their points even more. So Raiders are -3. Vegas thinks these teams are very similar. We agree. That's why we said Raiders -4. We have them kind of... We think the Raiders are better than the Chargers because the Chargers cannot close out a game. They can only close out a game when the opposing quarterback is throwing 2 straight interceptions on 2 straight drives in the fourth quarter. That's the only way they can win games. So this Raiders team, they should win tonight. They should. They should. They should. They should. We're going to say they do. We can't trust the Chargers to win. We can at least trust this Raiders team a little bit offensively because they've shown they can kind of win games. They've got 7 wins. The Chargers have 4 when it comes down to them just being lucky because the other team is being trash. So we're going to take Raiders -3. We'll swallow the 3. That's not too much to give. This Chargers team, they cannot play, folks. Anthony Lynn is not going to have this team ready to go on the road Thursday to put up points consistently. They can't do it. So Raiders -3, that's going to be our pick. That's our moneymaker. I know I said to stay away from it, but I'm kind of liking the 3 here. If it was -4, I would be a little iffy, but we'll swallow the 3. Games usually, teams usually win by like 3 or 7, because that's how you score points, field goals, or touchdowns. So we'll take the 3 here. We'll swallow the 3. Alrighty, here we go. The Saturday games. All right, we predicted Bills and Broncos at Bills -3, and it's going to be Bills -6, and that's okay. We can understand that. They're basically saying that if Bills were at home, it would be Bills -9. Okay, we thought Bills at home, Bills -6. We felt that a little bit more appropriate. This is going to be interesting now. Bills coming off of a huge win. Is Josh Allen's head's going to get inflated? That's a possibility, but we can't buy into it because I've been buying into it for the last 8 weeks, and it hasn't come true yet, and we're not just going to sit week by week and week, be like, oh, see, now we're finally right 9 weeks later. So we're finally buying into the Bills and Josh Allen. He's not turning it over, which is absolutely fantastic, but this Denver defense is good. good. Mile High. Bills have to travel to Mile High. Different atmosphere there. You know, a lot of people talk about the altitude there. That's like huge factor. So if I'm talking Denver +6, I think I like it. Drew Lock at home, he's pretty good. He didn't turn the ball over last week. That's a huge good sign that he's getting better, learning from his mistakes. So I think early indications, I may do Broncos +6, honestly. I think the Bills win, but this Denver at home Saturday game, 4:30, a little bit of a wonky schedule here. Let's play the number. Give me the 6. I think this Broncos defense is solid at home. They're a solid defense. They don't let the game get kind of away from them at home. So I think the game's close. Yeah, the Bills may win, but we get 6. I think we take the Broncos. That's kind of early indications here. We'll give you our picks tomorrow on the show once we kind of fully kind of digest and sleep on these lines. We'll come back at you tomorrow live on the show with our official picks. But I think I do like the Broncos plus the points here. Alrighty, and then the last Saturday game, Panthers-Packers, and we predicted this one at Packers -8.5, Packers -8.5. It's exactly what it was last week, folks, and I think I kind of like the Panthers +8.5 here. I already told y'all, Teddy Bridgewater with his 2 wide receivers healthy, ready to go. They keep the games close, folks. Packers, they don't really blow out teams. They have the ability to put up a lot of points, but they usually kind of give up some points as well when they do that. I don't know. I think I like the 8.5 here. Packers are still kind of competing to lock up that number 1 seed. I get it. They'll win. This is, once again, a Saturday game, a wonky game. Now, is Matt Rule going to be able to get his players kind of coached up? Because I know Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers, it doesn't matter when they play. They're going to be ready. How is Teddy Bridgewater? DJ Moore just got, off the COVID-19 list. How is he going to be playing? It looks like he didn't actually have it if he's coming off the COVID-19 list this quickly, kind of not even maybe like a week turnaround time. I think he went on the list about, Thursday, Friday of last week. So, he was on for an entire week. Usually if you have it, you have to be out for 2 weeks. So DJ Moore, he probably didn't have COVID, so he's going to fully be healthy. He's not going to be, sluggish on the field because he didn't actually have it. So this is going to be a close one. I think we like the Panthers. Once again, early indications. Give me the points. I'm taking points here, folks. Give me the points. The Panthers, they can keep up, folks. They can keep up. Alrighty, let's start talking about these Sunday matchups. Here we go. The first one is Jaguars-Ravens. We predicted this one at Ravens -10. Ooh, it's even more. Ravens -12.5. And we understand it. We get it. Now, is Gardner Minshew going to be trusted with 12.5 points? No, because that's not what we're talking about here. Well, yeah, that's kind of what that's actually what we are talking about. Gardner Minshew, is the Jaguars offense going to keep pace with the Ravens offense? We know this Jaguars defense is really not going to be able to stop the Ravens at home at all. The Browns rarely. The Browns only stopped the Ravens when Lamar Jackson was not on the field in the fourth quarter. So, Ravens at home, that's going to be a huge factor. Jaguars, they're just kind of looking to tank out. I don't know if they're kind of competing to try and get Trevor Lawrence. I don't know what their game plan with Gardner Minshew is, but Ravens -12.5, swallow the points. Jaguars on the road against this high-powered Ravens team. I get it that this Ravens offense could be missing 3 wide receivers come game day, but is it going to matter? They're going to get Dez Bryant back. Dez Bryant's good to go this week, I'm pretty sure. So, you elevate him into the matchup. Now you got a deep threat receiver. Now we're talking about a dynamic of this Ravens offense we haven't seen this season. So this could actually be a blessing in disguise for the Ravens. 3 starting wide receivers out. Dez Bryant comes in, and now we got ourselves a good offense here. We'll swallow the points, 12.5. Not good. The Jags aren't going to do anything this week, folks. Come on, let's be real. Alrighty, here we go. Texans and Colts. We predicted this game at Colts -7.5, and it's Colts -7. Once again, right on the money, and we like it. I don't think this Texans team is going to put up more than 10 points this week. I don't think they can do that. Deshaun Watson, if he was going to have a good game, it would have been last week after, 2 weeks ago, he fumbled on the 1-yard line and lost them the game. Now he couldn't even compete against the Bears. You couldn't keep up scoring pace with Mitch Trubisky. That's not good. That's nothing you should be proud of. If I'm saying that, that's not good. So, Colts here, They're rising offense. They're good. Phillip Rivers isn't turning over the ball. This running attack for the Colts is absolutely fantastic. They've got running back by committee with Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines, and they're absolutely fantastic. You got Jonathan Taylor running for 100 yards. You got Nyheim Hines catching, 40-yard touchdown passes or just taking it the distance. So I like this Colts team. I think their defense is solid. I don't think it's as good as everybody says. I like Frank Reich. I think he's a decent coach. And this Colts team is going against a subpar team. Absolutely. Give me the Colts here. I'll swallow the 7. I would honestly swallow probably 16.5. I would probably take them at 16.5. Don't get that 17 hook. 2 touchdowns, field goal. I think that's what they win by. Let's see what this alternative line would be. Let's see if you can make some real money on this one. Colts minus 16.5 is plus 270. That's great value. That's great odds right there. 500, you profit to $1,300, folks. If you bet 500, you profit $1,300 and you take $1,850 away. I mean, that's great. Wow, that's some good money right there, folks. That's a solid bet too. I mean, this Colts team, they'll probably win 20 by 24, honestly. I have the Colts winning here by 24 points. I don't think the Texans do anything offensively. Alrighty, let's keep moving on here. Seahawks in Washington. We predicted this game at Seahawks minus 4, and it's going to be Seahawks minus 5.5. And now this is what I'm talking about. Some great value here. Washington plus 5.5 points. That's fine. I don't like the offense. I say that every day. I do not like this Washington offense. I love their defense. I'll say it again. I love their defense. Is Washington the best team in the NFC East? Very close. I think we have to kind of reshuffle the order, put Washington at 1, put the Eagles at 2, the Giants at 3, the Cowboys at 4. Maybe you put the Eagles at 1, Washington at 2. But I think Giants are falling now that, the play caller is out and Daniel Jones is not 100% healthy. I do not like this Washington offense. I do not like Alex Smith, but Dwayne Haskins could be starting this week, and I think that's an upgrade. Seahawks, on the road against good defenses. Russell Wilson, he's shown it this season that he does turn the ball over. We saw it against the Cardinals when their defense was trending for 2 weeks with Budda Baker. Their defense was trending for 2 weeks and absolutely ate Russell Wilson alive, 3 turnovers, and Russell Wilson still only lost by 3 points in overtime. So, they turn the ball over. Russell Wilson, I think the Washington can keep it close defensively. I think I take the plus 5 here, folks. Plus 5. Alrighty, let's keep moving on here. Bucks and Falcons. We predicted this game at Bucks minus 6, and it's Bucks minus 6 once again, right on the money. And I think once again we swallow the points. I trust Tom Brady over Matt Ryan. I think that's a valid statement. This Falcons team at home, on the road, they're the same team. They really don't change playing on the road or at home. This Bucks team, they're going to be playing in a dome, so that's great for Tom Brady. Fair weather, that's exactly what he wants. Great for his weapons. Hopefully he doesn't overthrow any balls here. But, this Bucks defense, they're going to be a problem for Atlanta. I know I say that this Bucks team has a good running defense, but that just means that they're good up front, and Matt Ryan being under pressure, expect him to make a lot more mistakes. So yes, this Falcons team has the ability to pass all over the Bucks, but I do not trust Matt Ryan anymore, folks. We're off of him 100%. This Bucks team, they're just trying to kind of string wins together. They're trying to look good in the eyes of the media, folks. I can guarantee you that. I think Tom Brady is kind of very upset that they're not talking about him a lot more, that he's not one of the great quarterbacks that we're talking about anymore. I know a lot of people are having the Bucks in their top 10. I think it's a little ridiculous to have this team in the top 10 of how inconsistent they are offensively with all their talent. But we'll swallow the 6 here. I think that's good. We swallowed the 6 last week. They made it work, and the Vikings have a better offense than this Atlanta team does. So I don't think Atlanta has any shot here this week. Alrighty, continuing on. Patriots, Dolphins. What do we predict? 3 in a row so far? Pretty good so far. Very good so far. Let's keep it up. Patriots, Dolphins. We predicted this game at Dolphins -3, and it's going to be Dolphins -2. Okay. So they're... Wow. Whoa. Woo. Vegas is saying that the Patriots are better on a neutral field. How crazy. 1 point better? Are you kidding me? This Patriots offense? I can see maybe the defense, but even the defense, the Dolphins is better. They lead the league in takeaways. What are we talking about here? I know the Dolphins are facing a lot of injuries on the offensive side of the ball. We're not sure about Devontae Parker. We are getting kind of a running back, so we're going to have Matt Breida, so our running game's going to be a little better than last week, which is good. Kyle Van Noy, not sure if he's going to be good to go defensively. Mike Gesicki, not sure if he's going to be able to go offensively, so I can understand maybe Vegas is playing up the Dolphins' injuries a little bit more, but we can put pieces in. I mean, Brian Flores has been doing that since last season, just putting pieces in. Let's get this. I mean, as long as our main kind of core is there, as long as we have like Tua and a good running back, we should be decent offensively. And as long as we have Xavier Howard and Byron Jones back there defensively, and Needham and Van Ginkel, as long as we have those four defensively, we should be fine. So I'll swallow the 2 for Miami, absolutely. Should be a closer game, probably, but I don't think this Patriots team can really put up that many points. I think Cam Newton makes a lot of mistakes this game, folks. So Dolphins -2, absolutely. Setting up short fields for Tua. He's the king of short fields, folks. He can move the ball on from like 35 onwards, absolutely. So yeah, Dolphins -2. I think that's early good. Alrighty, let's keep going here. Lions and Titans. We predicted this game at Titans -6.5. Whoa. This is wild. Titans -11. -11. That's absolutely crazy. Damn, that's some crazy lines right there. I think I like the Lions +11 here. I mean, this interim head coach, everybody seems to be buying into them. The Lions, they keep the games close. They just kept it close with Aaron Rodgers. Were they at home? Let me see. Were the Lions at home last week? That's going to be the deciding factor whether we actually like this Lions +11 or not. I think they were in Green Bay, so I think they were on the road. I mean, so that's absolutely perfect. Oh, no, they were at home. All right, they were at home. Changes it a little bit. You know, you have to go on the road. So, all right. Maybe we don't like it as much as we just liked it, thinking that the Lions were on the road last week. But I still, man, the Lions are good in the first half. I mean, the first quarter. They're very good in the first quarter. Where the Titans, we know they could be a little shaky in the first half. So, Lions, can they keep this game close? This Tennessee Titans team probably is just going to run the ball a lot. I mean, that's what they do. So maybe, I mean, if Derrick Henry's not, exploding, 35-yard runs for a touchdown, and he's just kind of getting 3 here, 4 here, eats up the clock a little bit more, and then accumulates like 150 yards rushing by just picking up like 3, 4, 5 yards a carry, not breaking the runs to put up the points, running just to eat up the clock. So, Lions +11. We're going to have to sleep on this one, but 11 points, that's a lot. Damn. I don't know, man. Tennessee Titans, they probably win the game. I'm not saying they don't win, but the Lions to keep it close. I think I like them to keep it close a little bit. Alrighty, Bears-Vikings. We predicted this line at Vikings -3. Vikings -3. Another correct call. Love it here. Yeah, we'll swap. Mitch Trubisky last week. He puts up points. When Mitch Trubisky starts at quarterback, the Bears put up points. I can agree with that. That is a fact, folks. They put up more points than they do with Nick Foles. That's a 1,000% trusted fact right there. True fact. But this Vikings team, you can't trust them. I stay away from this game because it really could go either way. I kind of like the Bears +3. Give me the points with Mitch Trubisky. But at the same time, Mitch Trubisky, he could flounder. He could flounder in this game. And the Vikings are at home. They're still trying to claw their way into a playoff spot and just try and stay. I think, no, they lost. They lost it. They're out. So they're trying to get back in this week. Vikings -3. Vikings on the road. They need to clean it up offensively, folks. They're turning the ball over in the second half. So as long as they don't do that, if they don't turn the ball over, we like the Vikings -3. But who do we trust here? Do we trust Kirk Cousins not fumbling, or do we trust Mitch Trubisky not being trash? That's what you want to look for. If you're going to take this game, if you're going to bet this game, that's what you're thinking to yourself. Do you trust Mitch Trubisky, or do you trust this Vikings offense more? You have to make up your mind and then choose. So I'm not ready to decide yet. So we'll come at you tomorrow with that one. All right, 49ers, Cowboys. We predicted this one at Cowboys -3, 40. Whoa! Wow! Cowboys +3 at home? Folks, I know this Cowboys team is not good. I understand it. I was the first one to say that Mike McCarthy needs to be fired. But they're at home against this 49ers team? Oh, why are the Cowboys +3? I don't get that at all, folks. I truly do not get that. What is this 49ers team doing that this Cowboys team can't do? The 49ers got absolutely blown out just defensively. Washington did not move the ball on them offensively. It was just the defense setting up in short fields or just scoring outright themselves. Best bet of the week. Do we sound the alarm right now? I'll hit the button. Woo. Best bet of the week. Cowboys, I'll take them +3. They probably win this game, but even if they don't, we get 3. They're at home. They still have a chance for the division. The 49ers are out ski. What is going? Why do I not do? Am I the only one that just doesn't get this line? I'm taking that. Cowboys +3. I can guarantee you that's going to be our official picks tomorrow. Give me the points. The home team with the points. Better on paper. I don't like Mike McCarthy, and they probably still screw this game up somehow, but they're at home, and I'll take the 3. Give me that. Damn. Wow. Woof. I love it. Cowboys +3. You got me cheering on the Cowboys. I don't like to do that, but I'm doing that because they're getting 3. Dang. Let's move on. Damn, that's good. Cowboys +3. Get that before it starts to fall. That's good. All right, Jets, Rams. Here we go. We predicted this one at Rams -15. Rams -17.5. Okay. I mean, the Rams are going to put up 24 points. That's what they're going to do. Do you think the Jets are going to put up 7? You give them the 17.5. That's exactly. Do you see? Oh, my. Folks. We're vindicated right here, folks. What do we say on a weekly basis with the Rams? They score 24 points. Exactly. That's what they average, 24. Any given day, you know that they're going to score 24 points, whether they're going against a good defense, they'll still manage to put up 24, or whether they go against a bad team, a bad defense, they still only put up 24. They put up 24. What do we say about the Jets? They are good on their first drive. They always score on their first drive. So, what is Vegas saying here? Vegas is saying the score is going to be 24-7. It's up to you to decide. Do you want to get hit on that half a point? Either way, folks. Wow. We're vindicated, folks. We know what we're talking about here. Oh, my goodness. This is wild. 17 plus 7.5, or 17.5 plus 7. That's 24.5, baby. I don't know what you want from me. We stay away from it because we don't want this. I mean, this line is crazy. I'm not swallowing 17.5 points. I don't care who's playing. So we stay away from it. But we are 100% vindicated on everything we say. We are right 99% of the time. I'll say it. All right, let's move on. We got a couple more to finish out here. Eagles, Cardinals. Here we go. We predicted this one at Cardinals -4.5, and it's going to be Cardinals -6, and I love it. Exactly what we wanted. Eagles +6, I'll take it. This defense is the reason why I'm taking them +6. The running game is why I'm taking the Eagles +6. This Eagles defense, if they're smart, they know they only go to DeAndre Hopkins in Arizona. So shut him down. They don't put up any points. Jalen Hurts, he's looking decent. His first game, I liked what I saw. It was a good, solid first game. 14 weeks into the season, 13 weeks into the season. So yes, give me the Eagles here. Give me the points. This defense will keep the game close. This Cardinals defense, is it good? It's average. I don't think it's anything special. They kind of had like a kind of 2-week breakout where I thought maybe this is going to be a solid defense, but they kind of little iffy since then. But yeah, I'll take the 6. I love it. I was going to take them plus like 4.5, but give me them with 6. It's the defense for me, folks. That's all I need to see. This Cardinals offense, they're predictable. That's why they're 7-6. They were good in the first half of the season because nobody kind of expected them to just go to DeAndre Hopkins that quickly, that fast. I mean, he just got here at the beginning of the season, folks. Didn't think they were going to use him that quickly and that kind of efficiently. So now that teams are figuring that out, they're losing more games. Games are closer. I'll take the 6 here. We're getting some good ones here, folks. I love it. This is gonna be a good week. We're making money this week, folks. I can guarantee you that. Alrighty, Chiefs Saints. We predicted this one at Chiefs -3, and it's Chiefs -3. Folks, come on. What is that, like our 8th one that we just predicted right on the money today? We're killing it. Saints +3. It's a little appetizing, I'm not going to lie, but at the end of the day, it's this Chiefs team, and I know the history of the Saints defense. They just showed it last week, just got absolutely destroyed by Jalen Hurts. They were letting him dink and dunk. What are we doing? Now, if you're going to let the teams kind of play to their strengths, the Eagles with the new quarterback was dink and dunk. This Chiefs offense, though, what do they like to do? Just air it out. There's going to be a ton of pass interference. It's going to be killing the Saints all day. Patrick Mahomes is going to be slinging this ball around. I think we swallow the 3 here. I do like Taysom Hill, don't get me wrong, but I'm a little iffy on the Saints defense. I think the Saints offense doesn't have that much, problem scoring the ball, but I really think this defense is really going to hurt the Saints, especially down the stretch when, maybe the Chiefs are down by 3, they go for the deep ball, the Saints get a holding penalty or pass interference, advances the ball maybe to the 10-yard line, Chiefs end up scoring, maybe the final points of the game, which is a touchdown, and they were already down by 3, so they win by 4. Chiefs -3. I can see it going like that. I stay away from this game. 2 great teams going against each other, and the 3 I don't think is really going to matter at the final score, whether it being the Saints win or the Chiefs. I think the winner wins by 4 or more, probably 4 to 7 points. So I don't think you're getting any real good value here taking the Saints +3. I think it's kind of a mute point, honestly, so I stay away from it. Alrighty, Browns and Giants. We predicted this game at Browns -10, and it's going to be Browns -5, and you take that all day. This Giants team, they're not going to put up any points. That's what you need to know. Freddie Kitchens, offensive coordinator, banged up Daniel Jones if he starts, or you get Colt McCoy. Either way, it doesn't translate to more than like 17 points. So this Browns team easily can put up, what is that? What would they need? 22? They would need to put up 22 for you to take the Browns -5, 22 to 17. That's a push. They'll put up more than 22. We like the Browns here. And then Steelers, Bengals. We said Steelers -13.5, Steelers -12.5, right around the ballpark, right on the money, kind of once again. And we'll talk about this one more on Monday, but we'll swallow the 12.5. It's Big Ben. This is going to be the week. They had a full kind of rest. They're kind of back to a regular schedule. They play on Monday, a little extra day to prepare, night game, ready to get them back on track against one of the easiest teams to go against in the Bengals. That's how bad they are. They don't put up points. So Steelers -12, we can swallow that. No worries. Alrighty, that is going to do it for us today. We got some good picks right off the rib. So we're going to sleep on some lines. We're going to come back at you tomorrow live, noon Eastern, twitch.tv/takesbyfans, give you our official picks. And just to kind of reiterate, today we're taking the Raiders -3 in our moneymaker, so go make some money on that. All right, hang on. Actually, let's do this. Let's see. So, oh my goodness, hang on. This one already climbed up to Raiders -3.5. I mean, folks, when you see something good, get it, because as we were talking, it literally went up 1 point. So I like the Raiders -3. Now we're talking 3.5. Buy it down. Just take it. You don't lose that much value here in the odds. So let's tell you the difference between Raiders -3.5, which is -105. And then Raiders -3, which is kind of our approved pick as we're going through it, is -120. So you're not losing that. It's a -15 difference. See, this one just changed. It's now -106 instead of 105. It changes, folks. It just takes that quick for it to change. So if you see something good, always take it as soon as you see it. And let's talk about these overs. Points by team in the first half, overs. Chargers is over 12.5. I do not like that. Raiders over 13.5. I do not like that either. So I stay away from both those. Truly, not getting anything great there. So just Raiders -3. That's what we got for tonight. Alrighty, we'll be back tomorrow, noon Eastern, twitch.tv/takesbyfans, giving you our official picks and breaking down Thursday Night Football. So we got Raiders -3, folks. Let's make some money.